have at Disney?
What do they finally have at Disney?
Emperor's New Groove Magic Band. Never thought I'd see the day. Good stuff.
Dope.
I have the app. It's oh my god. It's so bad. This is not good for me. Oh my god, it's so cool. They have a snacks section.
Can you just put your
yes.
phone down?
Hold on.
Dude, just put your phone down.
Wow. I was supposed to say they have cupcakes, but that's in store only.
We have to share stories today, Cass. People are waiting.
Oh shoot, you're recording. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. I'll put this down now. Hello. No, that's not fair.
Fine. Mine can be over there.
No.
Yeah, Cass. We should have a phone jail. You know those phone jails? We should just place it in the center of the table. We just lock away our phones.
That's so dumb.
That's so cool. That's ingenious.
No, it's not.
Dude, that's
It's dumb.
ingenious.
It is. It's
That is
stupid.
wonderful.
No, it's not.
That is fantastic. That's a great idea.
No.
Yes, for sure.
Has that water been up here this whole time?
No. Just kidding. Yeah, it has. We didn't replace it from the last episode with Sophie Antonetti. Go check it out.
Hold on. You taste it, see if it's good, and then if it's good, I'll have some.
It's water, dude.
I know, but
It's been in an airtight container. Look. Airtight. I'll still taste it. I'll do a poison taste test.
I'll wait 5 minutes, see if anything happens.
Are you actually?
No. Can I have some water, please?
Can I have some water? You're like, can I have some water?
Please.
We do wash the mugs after every
Yeah.
session, just in case you're wondering.
I don't think anyone was.
The instant we finish recording an
Just
episode, we usually, if it's with a guest, we take the mugs down with us when we're escorting the guest out of
I
our.
don't think people care that much.
We're
Right?
gonna call it the studio. Out of our studio, and we just put them on the counter. We say bye to our guests, and we toss them in the dishwasher.
Yeah,
But
I
if
don't
it's just the two of us, we just take
I
them
don't
with
think
us
anyone
downstairs.
needs to.
But I'm just clarifying.
Can I just have some water,
just for people
please?
that are in the future,
Can I just
coming
have
on the
some
show. If you're just concerned about the
I don't think
the
anyone's
sanitary
concerned about it with
conditions
you.
of our utensils, that's hold on. Tastes like death. You're good.
Yay!
Nothing new in your system.
Haha. That was terrible.
You laughed. So
It was a fake laugh. It was to give you some sort of self-confidence.
welcome back. This is a fun episode. This is gonna be an interesting episode, Cass. We're sharing our college experiences after 1 year. 1 year.
It does taste
No,
weird.
it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a little bit idea. It wasn't.
No, it actually does taste weird. I'm gonna keep on drinking it, but just want people to know.
That's right. While you do that, I'll just let them know. TwinTalk.store. You can purchase your own.
No, you can't.
You can get
because
free shipping with orders over
not
$25 within the
thing.
United States.
That's not even a funny joke. It's just.
It's
stupid.
it's a great promotion.
No, it's not.
Not only can you get free shipping on orders over $25 if you're in the United States, but also we will be dropping a code in the episode for 25% off, and they're stackable. College.
It's so dumb.
Sorry, what are we at? 4.5 minutes, Cass. Ha! We got to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start. So, for those of you that don't know, we are currently attending college. We go to different colleges.
Yes, we do.
We live completely different lifestyles. Completely different lifestyles while in college. And we're going to share our experiences. We both just finished our second semester of freshman year. So we're done for the summer. I was done 2.5 weeks ago.
I was done like a week ago.
My last day was like April 26th. No, April 25th was when my last final was.
Mine was May 4th.
So I acknowledge I get out significantly earlier than most people.
Well, that's because you go back earlier, right?
Yeah, I went back January 7th. My last day of first semester was like December 12th. That was when my last final was.
I forget when.
And then I was off. No, December 18th. That my last day was the 12th, and then my last final I think was the 18th. I only had like 2 or 3 weeks of vacation, which is still plenty, but you know. So I went back January 7th, and I just got out April 26th. So I've been out for less than a month. 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now. It's been fun. College is an interesting experience, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's very different from high school.
Yeah.
You know, think about that for a second. Wait, how is it not different from high school?
No, it's just I don't know. It's not completely different. I don't know. I guess I'm like, oh, school.
I'm not
school,
like not academic wise,
Oh, then
because some of the classes are the same
yeah.
or very similar. Like AP classes, very similar to college classes.
Yeah. That's
I mean, that's why APs are a thing. It's to get you used to college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like lifestyle changes, like
Yeah.
how the lifestyle of college is different from the lifestyle of high school. Like in high school, you just live in your parents' house. You drive 2 minutes down the street to high school. You are with the friends you've been with since childhood, with a couple of exceptions. We are exceptions. You and I, we moved here. What was it? 3rd grade? I know that's a very small exception. It's not.
Wow.
It's not like we moved here in 10th grade and we were completely new to the school for 2 years and then left.
Yeah.
We moved here. That looked like you were giving me the. She's like scratching her eye, and her hand is inside her sweater, so I couldn't see the finger she was using to wipe her eye, and it looked like her middle finger.
Yeah.
It just looked like a subtle way to flip me off.
Because I would do that, right?
Screw you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Where was I? I was on a good rant. Not a rant,
You
but a good. No, it wasn't a rant. It was like a good explanation. You know. What was I saying? Shoot. I don't know why I just forgot that.
You're just being like,
Oh, right.
same people you've been with since high school.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah. See,
changed.
in high school, you're with the
Together
same
there.
people that you've been with for basically your whole life.
Mhm.
And college is a completely new experience, and it's in a very short amount of time. It's in generally 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes if you go to graduate school, it's gonna be another 4. But generally, it's 4 years for most people.
Mhm.
Like I would say, probably 75% of people that go to college only go for 4 or less. Is that fair? That's fair.
I don't know. You just made
Maybe
it.
less. Maybe like 65%. I don't know why I'm hung up on that.
These aren't real statistics. He's just making.
I'm just
them
like spitballing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different because I know like UMass Amherst, there's like 30 Pembroke kids that went there, so you know, shout out to Trevor Woodworth.
Why?
I don't know. Whenever I think UMass Amherst, I think Trevor Woodworth. Not in a bad way. He's just the life of the party, Cass. Gosh.
All right. Okay.
Get off of me. Jeez.
Didn't say anything.
No, it's fine. It's whatever. But yeah, UMass Amherst is an exception because a lot of Pembroke kids went there.
Yeah.
It is a big school, though, so maybe proportionally speaking,
It's not that bad.
yeah. Maybe it's very similar to you or I. You know what I'm saying?
Do a lot of Pembroke kids go there?
No, you or I.
Oh.
Not you or I.
I was like, I don't recognize that.
No. No,
I
not
was
the
like, what college
University. No, it's the University of Rhode Island, Cass. We're not talking about university.
is that? Okay,
I don't
it's
know.
an actual thing.
I don't know anybody that's going there. Well, you obviously don't because you didn't recognize the initials.
Well,
So,
I was like, that sounds like a university, but I don't know which one, so I'm just
No,
going to go along with it.
I don't
Hope
know anyone
say
that's
anything.
going there, but that's besides the point. Point is, proportionally speaking, it might be similar to UMass Amherst, but generally, I'm going to a very small school. I'm the only one from my school going there. So,
Until next year.
correct. Yeah, I have 2 people going.
2 people.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew of one, but
You can say their names. It's not like it's
Okay.
Voldemort. Gosh.
I knew about Marissa, but I didn't know who else.
Kayla,
Kayla who?
our cousin.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Who's she?
I was thinking Kayla Tyner. I was like, no, she's not going there.
No.
I'm great.
Our cousin Kayla went to BHS. She's a year below us.
She didn't go to PHS. She went somewhere else.
Oh, I thought she went to PHS. Whoops, sorry.
Fake fan.
Gosh. She went. She's a year below us, just in general. I went to a different school, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I probably should have known that.
You should have known that,
But-
because
but I
we
didn't.
never saw her.
I just kind of assumed she went there.
No.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop and restart. Okay, audio's messed up. No.
I didn't even know.
I noticed. Sorry. No. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, for me, I had to make completely new friends, which isn't a bad thing. I like making friends. It makes me feel like I'm doing something to better my life.
Sounds like a true extrovert. Right there.
I am not that extroverted. I'm not as extroverted as people like to think, as people think I am, or I'm not as extroverted as people like to think that I am.
I think you are.
I'm definitely more extroverted than introverted, but there are times when I am completely introverted. Like extrovert,
Really?
extrovert. You know what I'm saying? Like extroverts are people that would like go on a train and just talk to the person sitting next to them.
That's
I am
pretty
not like
extreme.
that.
Well, that's different. Public.
No, that's extroverted. People that just like to talk. Like Greg, for example, would probably do that.
He would not do that.
I mean,
You like to talk, but that doesn't mean you'll just.
but
sit
do
down
you
to a
think I like to
random
talk more than
person.
Greg?
I don't think Greg likes to talk.
Greg loves to talk, Cass.
I never thought that.
Well, maybe he doesn't acknowledge that he loves to talk. Maybe he just talks out of habit. Maybe he just likes to speak what's on his mind. I can appreciate a man that likes to speak what's on his mind.
All right. Okay.
I can appreciate that. Shout out to Greg.
Hi, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where this is going.
Almost drowned myself. I
You good?
I tried to look cool and just like take a swig of water, but like
You failed.
I failed.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're extroverted.
All right, fine.
Like, well, I think.
Well, no, I'm definitely more extroverted
extrovert-
than introverted.
Well, yeah, because extroverted people, they like get their energy from other people.
I don't really think of it like that.
That's like the definition.
Talking to the microphone, Cass.
That's like the definition.
you just
I just-
deafened everybody.
I'm so sorry.
Here, just bring it this way if you're gonna look at me.
Oh yeah.
Just turn it.
Thanks.
Remember, you can't really see the donut, but see the line on top? See this line right here?
Mm-hmm.
That has to be perpendicular to you.
Ooh, math terms.
That's just a basic term. It's not even a math term.
But yeah,
Anyways.
that's like the literal definition of extroverts, though. They get their energy from other people.
All right, well, I think of extroverted people as people that are
Look it
more
up.
outgoing.
Look
I'm
it
not
up.
g- We're going to try to not. This is like a
I'll look
simple
it up.
term. Fine, we can look it up.
No, I got it.
No,
No, I
Cass,
got it.
I got it. I'm all over
No,
this.
I got it.
Extrovert. An outgoing, overly expressive person. See, that's what my definition
I know,
is.
but that's the definition. Like,
That's what it is.
Merriam-
That's what an extroverted person is. Sorry, I'm having like hiccups. I'm trying to stifle them. Introverted people is the opposite of that. People that are more conserved. That's exactly what it is, Cass. Oh, am I missing something here?
hold on. Ooh, okay. In the 1960s, psychologist Carl.
Hold on. 1960s, Cass?
But this is
The
he class.
60s?
Okay. I'm talking.
You realize that
He first described
hardly
introverts and extroverts.
any
when discussing
information used
personality
in current
elements,
scientific
He
studies
classified these two
are
groups
used
based
from
on
the
where
60s.
they found their source of energy. In short, he
Hold on,
argued
hold on,
that
hold on.
extroverts are energized by crowds and interaction with like the external world. Introverts need alone time to recharge, and they're often more reserved in their manners and engagement with others.
Let
Boom.
me
Mic drop.
remind you that is from the 60s.
That's
So
the
take that with
basis
a
of
sizable
psychology,
grain
and
of
that's the basis
salt.
of the definition that it is today.
No, psychology changes over the course of 60 more years.
I'm
Cass.
aware, but this is the basis on which people define extroverts.
No,
and introverts.
extrovert is simply
They get their
outgoing versus conserved.
that, but they also get their energy from being around other people.
What do you mean by energy?
They feel more energized in like crowds and stuff, and when they talk to people.
I don't feel like that's accurate. Like, is that relevant?
I don't know. It ties
Extrovert
in, it
is
ties
just
in.
outgoing. an extrovert is someone
hold
that
on, wait.
appreciates
These are
talking.
hold on, wait. Shh,
Okay,
shh, shh.
I was about to say. I was about to
Sorry,
make a point.
you
but
can continue.
no, no, it's fine.
I was gonna say something too. No, you
It's
can
fine.
say something.
No,
It's
no.
fine.
All right, I'll finish my sentence before you rudely cut me off. It was pretty rude. I was about to make a bold point.
Oh, see, I was talking.
My
and you
bold
interrupted.
point was extroverted people are people that are more likely to talk among crowds and don't like being alone. Introverted people
That's essentially.
are people
what I'm
that
saying.
are more conserved and more shy and don't like talking to people
And they like
prefer
being
to be on their
alone.
own and prefer
And
to
they get
solve
their
problems
energy from that.
on their own.
Okay, now can
Extroverted people are team players, team builders. Introverted people are flying solo.
that's not necessarily true.
All right, but that's generally true.
No.
Can we just
I'm a team player and I'm an introvert. I don't like being alone sometimes.
But do you prefer to do work on your own versus in a group? If you have to do a project,
Okay, everyone hates group projects. You
I
cannot-
love group projects.
Oh my god. They
Dude.
suck.
What?
What do you
Okay, hold on.
What?
Hold on. No. I'm talking about would you see, sometimes I do prefer to work on projects solo. But there are
See?
exceptions where I prefer to have a group.
My
Like a
experience-
divide and conquer situation. If
in
you're
theory, that works out great, but in reality, people suck.
well, yeah, they're always like the freeloaders that just
Yeah.
don't do anything.
All right, can I read
A
out
lot
the
of those in high school.
Can I read out the personality traits of an extrovert to see if you relate?
Shortcast, lay it on me.
Okay. Do you enjoy social settings?
Social settings. Define a social setting.
I don't know. Like,
Like a concert?
I was thinking like just hanging with friends.
Over
Party.
what? Do I prefer social settings over what?
I don't know. It just says you enjoy social settings. You just enjoy talking.
Sure, yeah, I enjoy talking to people.
Okay. You don't like or need a lot of alone time.
No, I as a human being require a lot of alone time.
Okay. You thrive around people.
I don't like the way that's worded. Thrive around
you
people?
feel
I feel like
comfort-
I thrive no matter what setting I'm in.
Okay. You feel comfortable
no.
in large groups. That's what it's saying. You feel comfortable there.
Sure, I'm fine in a large social setting.
Okay. You're friends with a lot of people.
No, I have no friends. No, I'm kidding. Jokes. Don't kill me. 3 friends I have. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of acquaintance friends.
Yeah, that says they also tend to have a large social network and many acquaintances.
Sure, like I could walk, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you prefer to talk out problems or questions.
Talk out loud? For sure, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. You're outgoing and optimistic.
I am not optimistic. I am realistic.
You aren't afraid of risk.
No, not at all.
You're not afraid of risk?
No, risk is how humans evolve
Okay.
as a society. We
You're
risk.
flexible.
My joints are not flexible at all.
You know what it means.
Dude, I
You're
can't
often
I can't do a 45-degree split.
You're often adaptable to any situation and innovative when problems arise.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
100%.
There we go. I think you're an extrovert.
Oh, God. Just inhaled. Read the characteristics of an introvert.
Okay, hold on. I'll look
Sorry there. I was talking while swallowing water. While Cassidy does that, I just want to let you know. Twin Talk
Stop.
Twin
You
Talk
already
store.
did this. It's not funny.
free shipping on orders over $25. 20% off any order using code Twin Talk.
Hold on. Okay. You prefer time to yourself?
Prefer?
I don't
Yes.
Know. It depends on my mood.
90% of the time you're just like sleeping. Like I walk into a room today at 4
Oh my god.
and she's sleeping.
I was tired.
Can I tell the story?
No.
Actually, I'm going to tell the story.
No, don't.
So I walk into her room, right? And I'm like, "Bro, we need to record." And I just woken her up. She was waking up as I walked in. She turns to me and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Dude, we got to record." And then she holds out her left arm. Like, she pulls it out from under the cover, and she's like, I found your timer, and hands me nothing. She has nothing in her hand. And I'm like, what? And she, like, kind of, like, stares at me and then, like, looks at her hand as if, like, dude, take it. And then she kind of just realizes that she has nothing in her hand. And then, like, the saddest look of disappointment comes across her face. And I think she was having a dream where I lost my timer. And she had just found it for me and was giving it back to me. But she gave it back to me when she was actually awake, and she didn't know she was actually awake. Her dream transcended into reality.
I'd just like to point out
reality.
that I don't remember any of this.
She doesn't remember.
I
That's
don't
the
think
greatest part.
happened.
This has happened multiple times. I've woken her up to tell her something. Cass, you need to do the laundry. And then she'd be like, okay. And then falls back asleep. And then an hour later, I'm like, bro, you got to do the laundry. Why didn't you do the laundry? And she's like, what? You didn't? What? I'm like, bro, I told you to do the laundry an hour ago. And she's like, no, you didn't. She was convinced. She just forgets things upon waking up. It's not like, oh, I vaguely remember that. She just doesn't remember it. It's the wackiest thing. There has to be a name for that, right?
I don't know.
It's like sleeping amnesia. Like, like retrograde amnesia. Anyways, today's topic.
No, I want to keep on reading this.
Oh, right. You found introvert
Yes.
Characteristics.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
hit me.
You are drained by social interactions.
I'm drained? Heck no.
It depends on the social interaction. I mean, sometimes
You despise a social interaction?
No, you're.
This is a social interaction
You're-
right now, Cass.
You're drained. For what I say from that is like it's like a lot of people, and you're forced to like talk with everyone, and forced to like I don't know.
The way you're describing it right now answers the question. Answers the question in your mind.
No.
Forced to talk to people? Nobody's forcing you to talk to people,
Well,
Cass.
feel like you have to talk to people, and that's draining sometimes.
You don't have to talk to
thinking of
anybody, Cass.
Conversations.
You don't have to talk to anybody. You could just leave. If you don't have to go to parties.
I mean,
You can just host them like you did in college. We'll talk about it. It's a joke.
but sometimes I'm gonna say sometimes to that one. I prefer working.
You sometimes host
sometimes
parties?
get drained by.
Oh.
I prefer working alone. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Group projects.
I prefer working alone, with some exceptions. I like group projects in general.
You have a close circle of friends and like it that way. Yeah, I guess. But I'm like kind of like you, though. Like
What do you mean, kind of like me?
acquaintances.
So you have like a close group of friends, but also like a multitude of acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
feel.
like friends that I like don't see a lot, but like they're still my friends. You know what I mean?
Like you would still consider them a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You are introspective and curious.
Speak into the microphone, please.
You are introspective
hard.
and curious.
It's like you're in a cave. If you don't hear your voice, you're doing something wrong.
Okay. You're accused of zoning out a lot.
I would answer yes for you. Because you do zone out a lot.
I don't think I do.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes. 100%.
What
Anytime you're reading a book,
Oh, that's because I'm reading.
that's still zoning out.
But I'm focused.
You're not in reality. That's what zoning out is. You're not perceptive of your surroundings. When we say, hey, Cass, and then you don't look up from your 330-page book, we're like, Cass, and you still don't look up, and we like slap you on the wrist. We're like, Cass! And you're like, oh, sorry, what? That's zoning out.
Well, this defines as like you're just like kind of like out of it, but like not doing anything.
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
All right, so just say no. It's not like it's a test.
Okay. You prefer writing over talking? Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. Let me.
You prefer writing over talking?
Yeah.
You'd prefer to write our podcast over talking them?
Because then I can like think it out and think, oh, what I want to say.
You can still think when you're talking.
Yeah, but not as much.
No.
You can revise while writing. You can't revise while talking.
That's a weak characteristic to have.
Just call me weak?
I prefer to revise what I'm saying, just so I don't piss people off.
No, it's just I want to. get
Continue, please.
I
This
just
is
wanna get
entertaining
my-
for me.
I
This
just
is
wanna get-
entertaining. I love this.
I just want to get my point across in the best
Hurry
way
up.
possible, and that's why I like
Hurry
to
up.
advise. You feel more.
You feel more?
I don't know. Okay. One study shows that introverts are more likely to be diagnosed with depression. Oh no.
100%, Cass. I'm kidding.
This could be, another study suggests, because introverts don't feel as happy as often as extroverts.
That's
It's
pretty
unclear
accurate to you.
why introverts don't report higher happiness levels, but it may have a lot to do with how introverts identify happiness. Introverts prefer a higher quality of friendships and emotional regulation. It may be difficult to achieve this high level of satisfaction constantly.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
Calling me depressed?
No, I'm just saying it takes a lot to make you happy.
It does not.
Never mind, she just got happy. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what makes you happy.
I
You
don't
know
know
what makes you
either.
happy. Okay, then let's move on.
This is a happy
All
job.
right, college.
My God, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
that's
I
a-
commute. Cassidy lives on campus. We have said that only twice on this podcast.
We've said it
right?
multiple
Yeah,
times.
nah, only twice, Cass.
multiple
We
times.
haven't said it very many times at all.
I think we have.
Yeah. So commuting,
Mhm.
it was great. Just kidding. It sucked. Don't commute. I'm kidding. There are ups and downs to commuting. I'm sure there are ups and downs to living on campus. One of the most notable. What are you doing? What do you do? Are you on Instagram?
I'm listening to you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
This is called zoning out.
No, it's not.
You're not in reality. That's
no,
not
no,
real.
Continue.
Anyways, commuting. I mean, one of the most obvious benefits to commuting is you're saving a crap ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Are
I'm
you
listening.
sleeping?
I'm listening. I'm
You
listening.
slept for like 5 hours today. This kid is like a sloth.
I am not.
Sleeps for 22 hours of the day and is only awake for 2.
Oh man, what a life would that be, right? That'd be so
Yeah, what a
cool.
fun life that would be. Sleeping for 22
I d-
hours of the day?
I'm just tired.
How are you tired? You've
I
been
don't
sleeping
know.
80% of today.
I have not.
You woke up at like 12. Oh, sorry, you had a doctor's appointment. All right, so you went to your doctor's appointment, got home, and fell right asleep.
No.
Because that's emotionally
I-
draining.
No. I did a lot more than just go to the doctor.
Oh, so right, you went food shopping with our mother.
And to Bridgewater.
Oh, yeah, so draining. So incredibly draining.
You know what? I can punch you right.
You know what? That's a good point. All right, commuting. Let me get back to the topic at hand because I hate diving off of it, although it's quite funny. Acknowledging that Cassidy is basically a sloth.
I am not. I am not.
You do save a lot of money while commuting. That is indisputable. Living fees on campus are just really expensive at some colleges. At some, like Bridgewater, isn't it like $10,000 to live plus tuition? It's not very expensive, which is good. Another great plus. What's another great plus of commuting? That's it. You just save money. I don't know. You get to keep the same job you've been working. Like, oh yeah. I worked as a referee throughout the school year. Something I've done for years. I relatively enjoy it.
What do you mean relatively?
Well, oh yeah, because you're a referee now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm one of those people that can't have the same job for too long, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine myself working a 9 to 5 every single day out of college. Like, once I get out of college, I'm going to have to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll have to work a lot more than that
Yeah, because
if I go doctor.
doctor.
So, I mean, hey, maybe if it's something I'm interested in, it'll be great. But
Yeah.
I can't imagine working at McDanks every day for 8 hours.
There's nothing wrong with
I mean,
that.
shout out to you people if you, jeez, takes a lot of patience to do that.
Mhm.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I just can't imagine myself in that situation doing that. I'd just get bored.
So what I'm hearing is you need to.
I don't know. I need to have fun. But not like I'm not like needy like that. not like that. No, I just need to like be generally entertained or generally like what I'm doing. I need to somewhat enjoy what I'm doing.
What
You know?
do you enjoy doing? Like,
Wow,
work-wise?
thanks, Cass.
You're welcome.
I don't know. It varies, I guess.
You like tech stuff, right?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
sure.
trying to help you out, man. What else?
I don't. We're not, this isn't like therapy for Ryan.
Bio? Do you like
Bio?
doing that?
I mean, I enjoy life sciences, if that's what you're asking. Anyways, back to college, the thing that you clicked on this podcast for. This was generally going to be an advice episode, like just a quick recap of what our college experience has been, and then toss some because this is going live the day that seniors, or the last day of seniors.
Seniors last day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Words. The
Last day of
seniors' last day of school, of high school. And you'll be done.
That doesn't seem like too long ago for us.
No, that seemed very quick.
Yeah.
Like that was a year ago. Yeah.
That doesn't seem real.
Which,
Time
heck
has
no.
gone
Time
by.
flies. Time flies a lot faster
Mm-hmm.
than it did in high school.
Yeah.
Probably because high school was worse than college.
Bold statement, but all right.
Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
All right, anyways, just to recap, I commuted. It's fine. It's great. There's some pluses and there's some minuses. You lose out on your social life, which kind of sucks, but, you know, if you're an extrovert, it's great, I'm sure. And that's it. So.
Well, it would be great for introverts because they don't have to interact with people.
No, I'm saying for your social life. Well, yeah, I mean, introverts would be fine because they don't like interacting with people. For extroverts, it would be fine because you'd have no problem making friends.
Yeah.
For people in the middle, you're screwed.
Yeah, I think I'm in the middle. I think I needed.
You're not in the middle. Maybe you are. Maybe you are.
Well, I like being around people and I like making friends.
Okay.
And that's why I kind of wanted to live at school so I could make friends. What are you looking at?
I'm just noticing one of our tiles is kind of off.
Who cares, Ryan?
I care. It's going to bug me.
Anyway, as I was saying, I like living at school because
I'm
I just
listening.
like being surrounded by people all the time.
Well, when you commute to school and you take the train to school every day, you're surrounded by thousands of people. So,
Yeah, but not in the same way. You don't know these people.
well, you generally do. I guarantee you didn't know 50% of your, I don't know, English class.
No, I actually did
Oh, dope.
because they're smaller classes. So we all got to know each other.
Hit us with a recap, Cass. Recap of school.
It happened.
Wow.
The
Invigorating.
end. I don't know. It was fine.
It was just fine.
I like second semester, but
It's
I
fine.
like better than
Dude,
I
it's
liked
fine.
first semester. And I think that's because I was busier second semester.
Yeah. So you enjoy being busy. Interesting.
Yeah, I've discovered that about
You enjoy having things to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it's easier for you to find something to do at school than me
Yeah.
because half the time I'm commuting there,
Yeah.
which is fine because you can just do work. But that's boring. I still did it,
Obviously.
obviously. What am I going
Uh-huh.
to sleep? Psh, who needs sleep, right? Sleep's for losers. I'm just kidding. Sleep is like the most important thing you can do for your body.
Mhm.
Ask 95% of all scientists. Or all health scientists, whatever they're called. Health professionals.
Doctors.
Doctors.
Oh my God.
Those health professionals.
health scientists.
Well, I mean, there are health professionals other than doctors.
Yeah, but you were saying health scientist, Ryan.
Health scientists. No, I said 95% of all scientists.
Then you said
Then I
health
said health
scientist.
professionals.
No, you said health scientist.
No, I didn't.
I
That's a
heard,
lie.
I heard health scientist.
Well, your hearing's bad.
You're right.
No, you're
Anyway,
probably right.
that I was
probably said health
gonna
scientists.
relate it back to some advice.
Hit us with some advice, Cass.
I just say find stuff you like and do it.
Wow,
Thank
great advice,
Thank
Cass.
you. Let me elaborate. I think you should, for those who are going into college next year, definitely. I know this is like so cheesy and cliche. And everyone's like,
No, a lot
Go
of
find
college
it.
cliches are very accurate,
find clubs, find activities you like, and just do it.
for sure.
Because you'll meet people with same interests, meet awesome people. You'll make friends with them. And like if you're worried about like being seen as like dumb for doing stuff, like you're not alone. You're with a bunch of other freshmen.
No, there really isn't a dumb in
Yeah.
college. There's a lot of things you can do. If you're going to like a state university,
So much you
Like-
could find.
there are clubs for literally everything.
Mm-hmm. So just find your niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you're going to like UMass Amherst, I guarantee there's someone else going there that has similar interests to you.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
For sure. Dude, for sure.
Dude, for sure.
Dude, for sure.
But yeah, that's just my advice. Find stuff you like doing outside of like classes to keep you busy and to meet more people.
Yeah,
'cause
I
you'll
would
be
give that
happier
advice.
way.
I would retweet that.
Thank you.
For commuters, if for the 3% of you that are commuting to school next year, because who commutes? I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
Nobody commutes to school. Nobody does that. Name one other person you know besides me that does that. Go.
I can't.
Exactly. You can't. I'm sure there's someone out there that's commuting to school next year. And for you, Joe, I don't know your name. For the commuters next year, a couple things. If you're driving, don't drive.
What?
Sorry, I was thinking in the sense of going to the city. If you're commuting into the city and you're driving, why would you do that? Don't do that. Just don't. That's dumb. Take the train.
Why is it dumb, Ryan?
Car crashes.
All
Think about it.
right,
Think about
okay,
it. Think about it.
jeez.
If you have early classes like me, which you probably will as a freshman, did you have early classes?
Yeah.
Heck yes. It's almost guaranteed. You are probably going to get early classes as a freshman
Mhm.
because you can't control your schedule.
We could control our schedule.
Well, you can, but there are very few class times. Like my biology class had like 2 times. It was either 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
That's dumb.
I mean, chem was earlier, which is why chem was 8 o'clock. Calc was earlier. But that's my point. If you have early classes, which almost assuredly you will, driving to school at 6:30 or 5:30, early. You're waking up early.
Well, I think is what your point is saying. It's inconvenient because you're going to
And
be
it's-
hitting
It's
a bunch of
unsafe.
traffic.
It's unsafe. And there's a lot of traffic too.
Parking.
There's
How-
so much
How
traffic.
can you find parking? in the city?
Never underestimate.
I don't think
traffic.
anyone's in this boat because, but just saying, just don't. do
Wow,
it.
thanks, Cass.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, screw those people.
I
Who
don't-
drives to school, right? Who does that?
I meant to the city.
I'm kidding. Well, no, I'm just saying in case there is someone who's driving to the city next year or in future years if you're still listening to this. Just don't drive to the city. I would say find an easier way to get to where you need to go. The train is probably the easiest way. I can't really think of a second way. You could Uber, but you're still running into the same problem, except you're not driving. Someone else is driving you, and it costs money. The train obviously costs money, but it's a convenient fee. You know what I'm saying? Like you're paying to not have to drive. It's on a much faster scale. Yeah, you get to where you need to go faster because there's no train. There's hardly any train traffic until you get to the subways. Yeah, don't drive. Try not to do that. That's painful. Yeah, don't do that. But if you do, good luck, because parking's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, parking in the city's awful, especially early. What?
You're just going
I'm
off
just
on a
giving it.
rant
I'm just giving
about
advice, Cass.
parking.
If
one
you
wants
take
to
the
listen to
train like
that.
a smart person, no, I'm kidding. What?
No, just continue with your train
If
rant.
you take the train,
Mhm.
just either sleep or study. There's not much
Find
else you can
something
do.
productive to do.
Yeah, be productive on the train. That's a good point.
Reading.
Nobody
something
reads
creative.
anymore. It's 2019. I'm kidding. Gosh, take my jokes lightly, Cass.
Your jokes are terrible. That's why. I
They're
can't-
funny.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're horrible.
No, they're not. No one thinks that.
This is why I'm not a comedian. Yeah, just be productive on the train if you take the train. I have to drive to the train station every day, but it's a 10-minute drive. And it's like hour 20 to get into the city. Like from the time I leave my house, that's 10 minutes, and then an hour 20 on the train. So I get on the commuter rail, get off at South Station, take the red line to Park Street, get on the green line, go to Longwood. Hour 20. It's not bad. In the morning it can be crowded, but trains run frequently. They're getting better. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. There's really no easy solution to commuting. It's just kind of a given. You're going to deal with it. Which, whatever. Yeah, so that tackles commuting, really. If you're a commuter, you're probably not going to find much to do on campus other than go to class.
Which is kind of one of the biggest downsides, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, you lose out on the social aspect. You can't have it all, right? But you do save money, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I'm trying to think of, like, scenarios this year. Like, when I think my freshman year, and then I think of one scenario that happened. Like, I can't think of a summary scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
one thing that sums up my freshman year of commuting to school every day.
I don't.
All I'm thinking is trains.
You're like in love with trains.
I'm not in love with the trains. I have a love-hate relationship with trains.
Okay.
I mean, I love them. I want to love them,
Uh-huh.
but I hate when they don't work, which is very rare. They're usually very on time, which is very contrary to popular belief. That's it, really, for me.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Commuting isn't bad.
I would recommend living on campus, personally.
And I would recommend commuting. Just kidding. I'd recommend living on campus. Even though I've
At
never
least
done
for
it.
your first year to, like...
Yeah, that's probably accurate. That's probably good advice. I'd say, yeah.
If you're able to do it.
Yeah, if you're financially able to.
And, like, ready, then go for it.
Yeah. It's just a lot of money. Like, a lot of money.
College is a lot of money anyway.
Hey, I feel like we should address this. College is not necessary at all.
Okay.
I saw
think
I
in
saw a
this-
stat. It was like 56%. 56% of college graduates are just underemployed, meaning they overshot their college career. Like, some kid went for 8 years in a PharmD program and then ended up working at CVS as a pharmacist, which you, like, need 5 years for or something. The point is, college isn't necessary. You can easily find a job that pays very well out of high school.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
For sure.
I think it's changed in recent years. I think
It's gotten better.
it's more necessary that you need a college degree.
No, it's more competitive. It's not more necessary. Well, no, we can talk about this.
No, it's just in my opinion. I think it's a good thing to have, obviously. But
Yeah.
if it's not for you, don't do it. It's as simple
For
as
sure,
that.
D.
For sure.
Don't feel pressure to go to college.
Yeah,
College
no.
isn't necessary.
College isn't for everyone. It's just more school.
Yeah.
I don't know, but personally, I like college better than high school.
I
I would say.
I'm not there yet.
Hmm.
I liked I mean,
I liked high school, but like I like college better.
maybe I'm just dumb.
No.
Maybe I'm just a filthy commuter.
No.
Maybe that's all it is. Maybe just don't commute, all right?
Right.
No, I'm kidding. I think part of the reason why you like college more than high school is because the social aspect.
Yeah.
Socialize
And
a
I
lot
get
more,
to study something that I like.
which is true. I like that.
I like that.
I don't have to take Spanish, which I will never use ever again, most likely.
As a doctor, you'll need to.
No, I will not be speaking fluent Spanish to my patients. No, ma'am. Thank you.
You could learn the language.
I am not going to be learning Spanish. Thank you very much.
You have learned it already.
No, I haven't. I cannot have a fluent conversation with you right now. I just can't. I learned in my 5 years of Spanish.
7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th.
11th.
You didn't do 12?
No, I didn't.
Huh.
I just did filler classes. Yeah, I'm not gonna take Spanish ever again.
But it's an asset, right?
It's it's required.
Well, no, it's helpful. You get to communicate
Yeah, I
with
can
more
talk
people.
to 3 of my patients.
That's not true.
You're assuming I'm working in a melting pot of a city. I am.
AKA Boston.
Yeah, I don't plan on working in Boston
Really?
as a doctor.
Where do you plan on working?
That sounded very condescending. Like, really, then,
No,
Ryan?
I'm curious.
Where you plan on working?
I always thought you were going to work in Boston.
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know. I just assumed.
I don't know. I don't know where I plan on working. I'll probably end up in Boston, but I don't.
Oh, like, do you want to do another city or like?
Another city? Another city. Whipping out her Boston accent.
Stop.
Speak of the devil.
Do you want to
I don't
work
know where I
somewhere
plan on
else?
working. I mean, I'm sure I could work for some small medical, not facility, just some firm, like some
Firm?
side medical business. You know what I'm saying?
A business. You
Yeah,
don't
like-
want to do like actual healthcare,
No, healthcare,
like.
but like a smaller scale hospital, like a local hospital,
Really, I always
like
pictured
a local
you.
business.
I always pictured you in the city for some reason.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't mind going to the city. It's not a bad
I
thing.
just imagine you like roaming around with your little lab coat, just walking. I don't know.
Who does that? Who does that?
And like the hospital,
Nobody does
that. I could just picture you in the hospital with your lab coat.
I always see people going to work in their scrubs
Yeah, same.
on the train, and I'm like, there's no way that's real. Like, there's no way. Like, you're just doing that to flex. You're just doing that to flex on people.
If I had a doctorate, I would wear my scrubs or like my thing.
No,
all the
that's
time.
so unsanitary.
I'd flex.
You're on a train,
That's true.
which
that
is like
gross.
75. Like, it's some insane.
Yeah, I don't know why people would do that, but I get where they're coming from.
That's like you're presenting viruses and bacteria into a hospital.
You're right.
You're dumb if you wear your scrubs on the train.
Bold.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
That is an idiotic move.
Mm.
Toss it in a Ziploc bag. Just, you're flexing, but it's, sorry. You're flexing, but it's a really bad flex.
I think it's a good flex, but like,
No,
don't do
it's
it.
not a good flex.
I would flex.
That is not like,
But don't do it.
like you're like, check me out, guys. I'm a nurse. And by the way, every time I step into the, sorry.
you could.
Never mind. Every time I step into the hospital, I introduce, 35 million strands of bacteria to my patients.
Okay. Okay.
You're dumb if you're wearing scrubs on public transit. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Why? Please tell me. Why? That is the dumbest thing. So you're telling me you went to school for 8 years as a doctor? You're one of the smartest people on earth. Well, generally speaking, I understand there are exceptions. You can be a doctor, but you can be real dumb. I'm just saying. You're telling me you're educated enough to know, generally speaking, how the human body works? You understand everything that's going on inside of people. And you're dumb enough to wear the thing that protects the patients from bacteria on public transit, which is riddled with bacteria? Are you stupid, people? Wake up, people! Wake up!
That has been Ryan's rant for the day. Thank you.
I just hate people that do that.
Okay.
I've always wanted to walk up to someone like, why are you wearing your scrubs?
And we're still doing
You're
this.
sitting on a seat.
We are still going.
There's a seat between your scrubs are between a seat and your bum. A seat that is probably crawling with E. coli. And you're putting it on your scrubs. What is wrong with you? Just stop trying to flex. It's not working. Nobody
think-
thinks you're cool.
I don't
Everybody
think-
thinks you're
I don't
stupid.
think people are flexing. It's just out of
No,
convenience.
no. It's just to flex.
It's out of
No,
convenience.
no,
You have
no,
to
no.
go to work.
No. It's just to flex. I don't wear my lab coat to school for my lab. Why would you do that? That is stupid. Stop trying to flex. This has been my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. I'll take questions at the end of the session.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Are you okay? Are you
Sorry,
sure?
I just don't like when people try to flex the fact that they're a
Okay.
nurse or a doctor and they're
Okay.
wearing their scrubs
Okay.
on public transit.
No. Okay. Yes, we get it.
What's wrong with you people?
Okay.
This is why I lose faith in humanity.
Deep breath in, deep breath out. You're good.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god. Are you done?
We're done.
yet?
All right. I just realized that was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, that felt like 30 seconds. So,
Did it?
whoa. Just an out-of-body experience.
Just a solid rant about scrubs.
All right. That was fun. Cass, hit us up with some college advice.
I don't even know where to go.
I need to
after
take a
that.
breather.
I think you do.
We're
I
waiting.
just can't think of anything but Scrubs right now, Ryan. Thank you.
What did you? Were your I can't even talk. Were your expectations changed when you went to college?
To be completely honest with you, I had no expectations when going into college.
What?
Like, I didn't even think about it. I was like, yep, going to college now. I didn't really know.
Wow, just going to school again.
Yeah.
4 more years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was.
That's really sad, actually.
I was just like, I don't.
Oh yeah, I'm just going to high school again, except with new people.
I just
Whatever.
didn't really think about it.
Who cares?
I was like, yeah, I'm going to college.
Were you excited?
Yeah, I was excited.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Nervous. But I think everyone was nervous.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's part of my advice. Like, if you're nervous, just relax. It's
How
gonna
about-
be fine? Because everyone else is nervous too. They're all freaking out.
Yeah, everybody's in the same spot as you. If
Yeah.
you're nervous, chances are everybody around you is nervous. Or
Yeah.
most people around you are nervous. Sorry. I was going to say something I completely lost. Like, before I tried to cut you off, and I was going to say I had something really good to say. Oh, what about academics?
Academics?
Academically speaking, what is some advice? Oh, I have a good piece of advice. If it sounded like you were going to say something, so how about you say what you're going to say
Well, now
before
I
I
forget what I was going to say.
share my opinion?
I would just say, I think my key one is just relax. So I don't psych it up to be more than it is. I feel, wouldn't you say? Because, yeah, it's important.
I wouldn't say relax.
Well, I mean, just don't freak yourself out over it, is what I'm saying. Like, people's like, oh my gosh, college is going to be terrible. It's going to be so hard. Like,
No, it's not.
it depends on the school, but no, it
No,
probably
it's
won't be
not.
as hard as you're going to think it is. So I would just say, take a breather, relax, it's going to be fine. Just work your hardest.
I would
so
just
cliche.
I would just say procrastination is going
I
to be
knew-
your worst nightmare.
I knew you were going to say that.
I feel like I've said this before.
You've said it
I
multiple
definitely have.
times. You've said it so many times.
But, like,
Ryan.
it's true.
Yeah,
Especially for people living on campus.
really?
For sure.
What do you mean?
Dude, just think about it. You're sitting at your desk. You're flipping through calc.
Mm-hmm.
You're reading up on your, integrals. I don't know what you're doing. Just reading up on calc. You're like, all right, I got to study for this test tomorrow. It's a decently sized test. Your buddy walks in. You're like, dude, let's go play some ping pong. And you're like, yeah, why not? I mean, I got like all day to study. Dude, totally. Let's go play some ping pong. And you go play ping pong for like,
let's play some ping.
I don't know what you're doing. Dude, let's go smoke some joints, dude.
Oh my God, Ryan.
What'd you want me to say?
I don't know.
Let's go play some Mario Kart. Like, yeah, why not? I got time. That's the thing. Like, you're going to think you have time and you don't. So, school comes first.
You sound like such a dad. School comes first.
Yeah. Dude, let's go smoke some joints. That's such a dad thing to say. My
I
dad
meant-
says that all the time.
No, I meant school comes first. That's the thing.
Well,
I was
it
talking
should.
about. Well, obviously,
You're paying
yeah.
to go to school. I'd
Yeah,
hope
you're
school
paying
comes
for your
first.
education. Just go to
You're
school.
literally paying for classes.
Don't skip class. I mean, I wouldn't recommend skipping class.
I've skipped classes. But it's for a reason. So hold on. I have a confession to make.
Oh God.
The first time we did a college episode, or high school versus college,
Uh-huh.
I called out my friends Liam and Drew
Oh, yeah, I
for
remember
skipping
this.
class multiple times.
Uh-huh.
They're actually geniuses. Here's why. They were skipping our chem class, which you're like, okay. And to be fair, chem is the hardest class I took this year. First semester was a breeze. Second semester, hardest class, for sure. Everything else was generally fine. They skipped because the classes are recorded. They just watch them at any point. Isn't that genius?
Don't they get marked down for it though?
No. No.
Yeah.
Oh, because attendance is taken in my bio class and my calc class,
Not in your chem class.
not in my chem class.
That's weird.
Class isn't mandatory in chem.
What?
And you don't really have time for questions. You can't really ask a question because the professor has to jam in a, 45-minute lecture in a 50-minute class. So there's very little wiggle room for questions. So generally, what you watch, what are you doing?
No, your chem rant reminded me of my chem rant, so I'm just bringing up.
Oh, as you prepare for that, I'll finish this
Yes.
off. They were skipping class because they were going back and listening to the lecture, and I didn't know this. I apologize, Liam and Drew, for calling you out.
Did they listen to this?
Probably not.
Yeah, but how?
They probably won't listen to this.
Yeah, good.
I mean, if they do, welcome. I mean, I didn't skip every chem class, but like if it was a continuation on a topic that we covered the day before, I was just like, I don't need to go to that. I can just watch it on the train home. Perfect, right? I'll sit on the commuter rail, catch the 2:47 train out to Hanson. It's a 43-minute train ride. I'll watch my 40-minute chem lecture. Perfect. Keeps me occupied. Boom. I just spent time with I moved my social time on the train to social time with friends. Boom. They're geniuses. They know what they're doing. So I skipped chem, but I didn't skip chem.
Okay.
Don't skip class, though.
Yeah, I would.
Generally, don't there's that's a very.
I know all my.
I understand that
classes-
is a very niche scenario.
Yeah, all my classes' attendance was mandatory.
Okay.
Like they marked down if you
Yeah.
were there.
Mine was a lecture hall. I had bio lecture hall and chem lecture hall.
Well, all my classes were lectures, but they still marked you down.
They marked attendance in lecture hall?
Mhm.
How do they do that?
sheet goes around where they do
Every day?
Yeah.
Gosh, holy crap, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's torture. In bio, we had these little devices. They're called clickers. We call them clickers, but they have like turning point devices or something. It's called the company is Turning Point, and it's like a number pad on a little stick of a. It's just a device that you just put in answers. It's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they do multiple choice questions on it, and they take attendance through you answering the question. So like 2 times in one lecture, in one 50-minute lecture, our bio professor would be like, what's the layer under the dermis? And it'd be like epidermis, base layer, and 2 other crap answers. And you'd pick base layer because you're a smart kid. And then your attendance would be that. You answering the question is your attendance.
Huh. That's cool.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
It's smart. But my chem class wasn't that advanced. He's like some old guy.
Aw.
Shout out to Professor DePiro, my first semester chem professor. Love you. You were the greatest. Funniest dude I've ever met. Well, one of them. Not the funniest, but funniest professor I've ever had.
Really?
One of them.
Why was he funny?
He just explained everything that we needed to learn, but like in a very understandable way, like a very millennial way, like a very cool and hip way.
Can you give us an example?
Like he was cool. I can't remember, but I remember thinking that. I was like, dude, I get this. Second semester, I had Professor Garofalo. He was the complete opposite. They're both relatively old, but Garofalo was very basic. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to read off my 8 sheets of paper that I rifle throughout the lecture, and I'm going to explain to you what's on them. And you're going to remember them. But you don't. I guess that's why they're recorded, right? So you can watch them back if you forget. I don't know. But I prefer DePiro. We called him Dr. Mario because he kind of looks like Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario?
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't understand.
I don't get
Loser.
it.
Anyways.
What's it from?
Dr. Oh, gosh.
I don't know.
Greg is cringing right now.
Oh, shut up.
Why do I bring Greg into everything?
I don't know. I think you're in love with him, Ryan.
No. Podcast over. Thank you for listening. This has been a great episode until the very end. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. That fooled you.
I was like,
No.
we're done.
No, I feel like I have to live up to his expectation. I don't know. I just Dr. Mario, Cass. He's from Dr. Mario.
I don't. You're gonna.
It
have
was
to,
a game.
Oh, that's so dumb.
So imagine.
I don't need an explanation. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
sorry.
It was a good game.
That's just whatever.
Anyways, yeah. You were saying? I don't know what you were saying before that.
Or I was gonna go on my chem rant. As
Oh
well,
yeah, chem rant. Go.
because I took chem,
Hit
but
it.
it was forensic chem.
Let's hear it.
And you're like, wow, forensic chem, that sounds wicked fun. I was like, I felt the same way until I realized it was a class for forensic chem majors. I am not a forensic chem major,
You bum.
so I struggled a bit.
What are you, a liberal arts major?
I will punch you from here.
What are you gonna do? Read a book?
Stop! You're so mean.
Ow! That didn't hurt.
All right. And it was a hard class. I think it was my hardest class. Shut up.
All right.
trying-
I'm done.
No, you're not.
I'm done. I'm listening.
Okay.
Go.
But I wasn't the only one who struggled because everyone else in my class practically failed. And I just want to read to everyone an email that my...
Oh, you're gonna read using your liberal arts major? Stop it right now.
I just want to read the email
Just go.
because I think it's
Pretend I
funny.
don't exist.
Okay. This was after we all took the final. He's
Oh
like,
yeah, you showed me this. Yeah, I remember this.
Hi, everyone. I've posted the final exam grades. Overall, they were pretty disappointing. The high was an 84 and the low was...
She's not wrong, by the way. They were very disappointing.
And the low was 17. There were a ton of 40s and 50s.
40s. There were a ton of
Shut-
40s.
I'm in the process of determining final course grades now. The good news is no one failed. But there were way more C's and D's than I would like to see. Best of luck in all your future endeavors.
That's your chem rant?
Yes. Well, that's my chem rant. I just
Wow.
imagine
Entertainment at
I-
its finest.
imagine being the person who got a 17.
You just feel so called out, but nobody knows you were called out.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Just want to hold it like this.
You're so lame. Anyway, yeah.
Wow, thanks. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Just kidding, it's not.
Shut up.
Nobody failed the class, but a ton of people failed the final.
Yeah.
How?
Because he's a terrible teacher.
Okay, come on. Here's my pet peeve, right? People are very quick to blame teachers.
Okay, but
for
if
their wrongdoing.
everyone fails the final, that isn't a reflection on them. It has to be a reflection on the common
Okay, that's fair.
denominator,
That's fair.
which is the professor.
But I hate when people blame...
It's not entirely the professor's fault. Maybe we're all just stupid. But also, the professor has a role in it,
What did he say the average was?
like a 40 or 50.
All right. Well, my chem final average was a 61.
At least it was passing.
Point is, some people just fail because they don't understand the material. It's not that the professor's fault. These people just
Oh, I'm aware.
people drop out for a reason. It's because they realize they're not cut out for the major that they want to go for.
Yeah.
Like, you could have the greatest teacher in the world, and then people just will always fail the final. People are always going to fail tests.
That's a happy thought.
Well, no, it's just reality.
You're always going to fail.
No, not you specifically, but people are just going to fail.
Yeah, but still.
And it's not always on the
still
professor.
had a role in it. If
Yeah, but there was
everyone
an
failed.
84.
Yeah, probably a stupid forensic chem major.
It's not like the test was out to get you.
You didn't take the test.
Well, was it hard?
Yeah. Yes, it was
Did
hard.
you study?
Yes, I studied for so long for that. Multiple days.
Here's the thing. Tests can only be on the content that they teach you. Just study the content that they teach
I did study the content.
you. All right, man. You and your liberal arts major.
I will fight you.
That's going to be my joke from here on.
Unbelievable.
Anytime Cassidy just has trouble with something, I'm just gonna or does something very basic, just be like, great, you can use your liberal arts major for that.
You're so dumb.
I'm very I'm very obviously joking, but for people that don't get it, I'm joking.
No, you just sound
Liberal
mean.
arts is a fine major to have.
You can't even say that. Word.
No, it is. It really is. It is. You can get so many jobs with a liberal arts major. It's probably more useful to have just get a liberal arts major than like a PhD. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
you'll probably only need a liberal arts major. 90% of people are only going to need that for most of their jobs that they're going to apply for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's like what I said earlier, underemployment. Or overemployment, whatever the word was. Yeah. Great advice. Well, great rant, Cass.
No,
Wow.
I just thought it wasn't a rant. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh, I thought it was. You can go away.
I enjoyed hearing you read with your very clearly developed skills with your liberal arts major.
You're so mean. I'm being bullied.
I'm being bullied.
I'm being
Cass,
harassed.
you can bully me anytime you want. I can acknowledge it's a joke. People, a joke.
You're not funny.
Well, I'm sure someone out there thought it was semi-funny.
What, Greg?
Greg definitely did not find it funny. Maybe Trevor found it funny. Shout out to you, Trevor.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to put this back on. It's not working. Just go. Okay, we're good.
Any last thoughts?
Last thoughts?
Yeah.
My last thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Any
Want to
any
have
advice?
thoughts?
Any advice?
I don't know. You're going to do fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Chances are you'll pass.
That's reassuring. Chances are you'll pass.
Oh, I thought it snapped. It just kind of...
Did you break it?
No.
Looks like you broke it.
No, we're good. We're totally good right now?
Uh-huh.
Dude, for sure.
Dude, for sure.
Just stay on.
For those of you who can't see it, Ryan's
I'm just struggling with our
microphone. He messed it up.
what is it called? Spit guard.
What?
I think that's what they call them.
That's gross.
It's like wind guard or spit guard or something. Or like dust guard. I don't know. It just protects the microphone from like debris and plosives. Plosives. I'll just fix it later, or maybe I'll just fix it now. This is probably painful for some. I'm just gonna leave it. This is probably painful for some people to listen to. Yeah. Generally good college advice, right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna give some decent college advice. You're gonna do great. College, in my opinion, overall, was easier than high school.
Then again, you're in your first year.
Yeah, first year. So take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, it's first year.
Yeah.
We haven't been through the entirety of college. I understand it's going to get significantly harder. I'm taking freaking biochem next year or next semester.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to love it. Or no. Sorry, not biochem. Organic chemistry, which is just a blast.
What is
Supposedly, it's the hardest class people take in college. So I'll get back to you on that one.
What
Organic chemistry?
yeah.
It's chemistry, but it only involves organic molecules.
What are
Naturally occurring molecules.
Okay.
Like carbon-based molecules.
I was about to
Or
say, like carbon.
carbon-based things.
I knew
It deals with carbon-based things, which is the basis of all living life, carbon. It's like the essential element in existence of any living creature on our Earth.
Cool.
And as far as we know it, life in general, carbon is like essential. Yeah.
Nice.
That's organic chemistry. It's a pain, I'm sure. I don't know. It's interesting. It seems very interesting. I'm sure it's hard. The lab isn't going to be any better. And
I don't have to take it ever in my life.
yeah, what are you taking next year, Cass? Library 201? Ow, gosh, that actually hurt.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Don't lie to yourself.
So I'm double majoring, communications and writing, editing, publishing.
Oh, communications.
So I'm taking the intro courses for those, intro to literary methods and intro to communications and media studies. I'm also taking journalism. I'm taking
That's a lot of classes.
playwriting, and I'm also taking
Playwriting.
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
excited.
Okay.
And I'm taking science and religion to fulfill my last gen ed requirement.
I have a very developed opinion about religion.
I know. I'm taking the class mostly so I can.
I know. Screw you. Whatever.
I'm taking
I
the
don't care
class
about you.
mostly to get like other perspectives and see it from Ryan's point of view, I guess, but also to relay info back to you.
The correct point. No, I'm kidding.
Do you want to fight me?
Whoa. I was saying mine as a joke. Were you? Gosh, man. Jeez. Chill out.
I'm chill.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, but I don't know. Should be fun. What
Yeah.
classes are you taking?
Organic chemistry and then some, I think, calculus 3.
Is that it?
And no. And then I have a humanities class and a social sciences class.
Oh, nice. What are the classes?
Hold on. I'm going to pull it up right now because
Oh, cool.
I was actually hyped for these. The two filler classes, as I like to call them, the 2 requirement classes, my humanities and social sciences, are they are both online. And
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
That's cool. So you don't
But
have to go in.
I chose them to be online. I actually took psychology online my second semester.
Oh, how'd that go? I didn't know it was online.
It was an interesting experience.
Did you like it?
Yes and no.
Oh, that's
Online
funny.
classes are awesome because you don't have to. What does this P mean? Pass? Oh, sorry. This is my next semester. Sorry. So I take stats. Sorry, I take stats, organic chemistry with organic chemistry lab, which are 2 separate classes. This year, my science classes had a bio, for example. It was bio, and then bio lab was weighed in. It was like 20% of my overall bio grade. Next semester, organic chemistry and organic chemistry lab are 2 separate grades. So it's going to be harder to get a better grade because labs are generally easier. So I take those, and then I take a health professions orientation. It's required for all second years. It's just an orientation about health professions. It's pretty self-explanatory. Human development through the life cycle. I thought this was an interesting class when I
Interesting.
saw it. I decided, you know what? This would be good in my abortion argument.
All right.
And it would be
was
interesting.
gonna go,
It would
from,
be interesting to learn.
Homo sapiens. I thought that's what it was talking about.
Human development through life cycle?
I don't know. I thought it was like
The
going
life cycle?
through life. I don't
Life
know.
cycle. Cycle.
Well, now I know it's stupid, Ryan. You don't have to
And then I
keep
have
saying.
war literature. That's my humanities class.
Ooh.
By the way, human development through the life cycle was a behaviorals, not social sciences. And then my humanities class, to fulfill that, I chose war lit.
That's fun.
And those are both online. I've always been interested in war. That's
In
a weird
war.
in war. In war.
Like historically?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
World War I, World War II.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I found it interesting. I was never good at it, but it seems fun.
Yeah.
And then American culture, identities, and public life. That's just my English class. So that's
Oh.
a blast.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, online classes. From my very limited knowledge of them so far, not what you would expect. They're not as easy as you would think they are. Trust me, I thought they were breezy. They weren't. It's surprisingly, it's just like a class, except there is no teaching involved. You teach it all yourself.
Mm.
I mean, there are online lectures. I was never a fan of those. The exception being Chem, because it's literally the same thing. Just the online lectures are weird. My psychology professor uploaded them to YouTube. It was just a weird experience. It's like she wasn't actually talking to anybody. She was just talking to a camera. She was just like breezing through. She's like, blah, 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 and then done.
Oh.
There was no difference between that and my Chem recordings for Chem class. There were people in the room. He would stop. He's teaching to a class, which happens to be recorded. It's different from just explaining something to a camera with no audience reaction. It's different, which was evident in my opinion. it's easy once you understand. Like you have to. It's very self-paced. It's no, sorry, that's the wrong word. It's very self-reliant. You have to constantly remind yourself. You have to be on top of it. You have to be on top of your game. You can't fall behind. There's nobody reminding you to do something. The homework was you get a syllabus. It has all the due dates for everything, and throughout the year they will release different homeworks and different tests for you to do online. And you have to remember to do them. And there's no making them up. So that was a learning curve. I didn't miss anything. It was just hard to remember. I ended up using Google Calendar. I recommend doing that. If you're taking an online class, you get the syllabus at the beginning of the year, and you fill in all the dates, which, remember, are subject to change. Mine didn't, but they definitely are. Keep that in mind. And just put in all your due dates in a Google Calendar, and it'll remind you. Or any reminder app that you have. I mean,
Yeah.
it works for anything. It's very simple. It's easy to use. It just reminds me to do stuff, which I found very helpful. And it's good for any class, really. Yeah, I didn't really foresee myself giving that advice at the beginning of this. I
calendars are
completely
helpful.
forgot about online classes. It's an interesting experience. It's definitely not easy, but it's easier than a regular class, I guess.
Solid.
For sure. Did you take any onlines?
No, but I'm going to be taking some this summer.
Oh, dope. Oh,
Yeah.
for Bridgewater, right?
No, different. The Bridgewater one is in person.
When do those start?
May 28th
Jeez, it's soon.
for the Bridgewater one, and then summer session 2 is the online English ones for me.
When does that start?
July 10th,
Wow, that's late. When does it end?
August 8th.
Jeez, you have less than a month? You have 4 weeks. That's crazy, man. I mean, I guess you're not doing anything else besides working, probably. Maybe you're working. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm working, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Last thing, probably. Did I tell you about my experience, my reffing experience
No, what happened?
on Saturday? Was it Saturday?
What
Saturday.
happened? Oh, no, wait. I think I was in the room where you were ranting. Was the coaches? Like, being
yeah.
jerks?
No, it wasn't the coaches.
I thought it
It
was
was a
one-
parent. It was just a rogue parent.
That random guy.
Yeah.
Is this the game
So
where the
I'm
lights
gonna
didn't
tell the
turn
story.
on? Okay.
So I reffed a game. It was a very weird game. It was a girls U14 select. It was Pembroke versus Middleborough. I knew the Pembroke coach, and I somewhat knew the Middleborough coach. He acts up sometimes, and he acted up that game. But the second half, he was fine. It was a late game. It was a 7:30 game. It was on the turf at the high school. It was nice out. The lights didn't come on. That's the first thing. At the end of the first, it was dark for like the last 10 minutes of the first half, and I decided to not start the second half, and we tried to figure out why the stadium lights weren't turning on, which we later figured out. We ended up waiting for like 15 minutes, and I ended up talking to the president of the league, and I was like, "What's up with the lights?" And she was like, "I don't know. We're trying to figure it out." She was calling people; they weren't answering. And then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna have to call the game because you can't play in the dark. And if the lights aren't gonna turn on, I'm not gonna keep people there for 30 minutes." So I called the game, but directly after I called the game, the lights came on. Literally 5 seconds after I ended blowing my whistle, lights came on. I turned to the coaches and I'm like, "Do you guys still want to play?" And they're like, "Heck yeah!" It was 2-1. Pembroke was winning, and the Pembroke coach could have totally been like, "Oh no, let's just call it. I'll just take the W." But he's like, "No, let's play it, dude." And I'm like, "For sure." So we started playing the game. It was fine. It was a fine game. It was physical, but nothing out of the ordinary. It's just a standard select game. 2 minutes left. Pembroke player has the ball, running up the sideline. Typical. There are 2 Middleborough players she's approaching. One of them steps up, tries to take the ball, somewhat physical. I let it play. Pembroke player has advantage. The Middleborough player falls behind her, so now the Pembroke player is running forwards towards the Middleborough goal, and the Middleborough player is behind her. And she runs into the second Middleborough player. still slightly physical. The first Middleborough player comes up behind the Pembroke player, very physical, trying to take the ball. It was all involved in active play. It wasn't like she came up and wailed on her. She just tried to take the ball, but it was very physical. Ball went out of bounds. I called a penalty for Pembroke, so it was a Pembroke kick. Parent on the sideline. Now, typically on the turf, you're supposed to be up in the stands. For some reason, there were a couple people littered around the track. This parent was standing like 5 feet from the sideline. If you've ever been on the turf, there's like track, and then there's some grass, and then there's the field. He was standing on the field part. He wasn't standing on the track. He was standing on the field part, like the grassy part. And he's like, after all that, you're not going to give him a yellow card? So I kind of just look at him like, what? Who are you? And then I just kind of like wave off him. Let play continue. It ends as a 2-2 tie. I sign the forms, give them to the coaches. We start walking away. The parent comes up to me. And I'm like, oh, great. Wonderful. He has 2 questions for me. One of them is just incredibly stupid. One of them was the same question he had for the play that just happened previously. His first question. So, well, actually, I'll explain what happened. Sorry, this is long. It's very interesting, though. At the end of the first half, I called a penalty for Pembroke. It was outside the box. It was just a direct kick. There was no time left. So my plan was, I'm going to whistle the ball alive. The player's going to kick the ball. Directly after she strikes the ball, I'm going to whistle the half ended. I whistle the half ended directly after she kicks the ball. Ball bounces into the goal. I think nothing of it. Obviously, no goal. I called half before the ball went in. Parent comes up to me. He's like, so that the last play at the end of the first half, the penalty kick or the direct kick that you called, Pembroke scored. I've been looking it up. I've been looking into it. Did you know that goal should have counted, even though you blew the whistle? His reasoning was, you're supposed to let the ball continue to play until it is out of play or stops moving, even after you've blown the half dead. I ended the half. His argument is, you should let the ball continue to play until it stops or goes out of play. Which is the dumbest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Bold.
It's different in basketball. I use this analogy. I said it's different from basketball. In basketball, once you take a shot, players can't mess with it. That's why buzzer beaters exist. That's why shots still count even after the final buzzer goes off. Because the rules are, you're not supposed to mess with the ball. In soccer, it's different. Once the referee blows the half, that's it. Because then players can just be like, oh, I don't have to, I'll just walk away. I gave him the analogy. Let's say Pembroke keeper had the ball. Sorry, I swear. Pembroke keeper has the ball, punts it. I blow the whistle dead. Or I blow the half. Half's ended. The ball continues to bounce and eventually rolls into the Middleborough goal. Does that count as a goal? The correct answer is absolutely not. This is preposterous. And he just was convinced that I was just wrong. He was convinced that the ball should be played until it stops moving. Maybe I'm just, over-exaggerating how stupid that proposal is. It's just stupid. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. And his second question was just clarifying the last play. He was like, why didn't you yellow card? Shouldn't have been a yellow card. I'm like, no. And I continued to explain to him for like 5 minutes how it shouldn't have been a yellow card. And I'm very confident in my call. And that was it. That was the experience. I was asked the dumbest question I have ever been asked as a referee.
Really?
100%.
Interesting.
The idea that the ball should be played until it stops moving is stupid. That's the dumbest thing anyone's ever said to me. And if you're sitting there like, well, Ryan, that's a bit harsh. No, it's not.
All right.
It is
Okay.
not.
Okay.
That is dumb. I kind of sat there and was like, are you serious right now, dude? Are you for real? He was convinced. He was like, I was looking up some rules. The ball should be continued to play. I'm like, it's not basketball, right? Turns out the guy's just a complete D-bag in real life. Turns out he's always like that. I'm not going to shout him out because screw you, man.
All right.
Dumbest question I've ever
done?
been asked.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Anything else, guys?
No,
Sorry, that was 7 minutes of just
That was 7
torture.
minutes.
It was like 5. 5 minutes of torture. Anything else, Cass? Anything you'd like to add?
Nothing.
Anything to sum up our college episode? Our
No.
college freshman year 1 recap. Nothing? Nothing at all.
No.
All right. Looks like we're going to end it here. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Thanks for listening to my 2 rants. Did I have 2 rants today?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. 3's kind of pushing it. I'd say 2.
At the beginning, there was one point where you were ranting. I forget what it was about, but
I was ranting about scrubs.
oh, that's right. Well, no. Before the scrub rant, it doesn't matter. I honestly do not remember. But thank you for listening.
People who wear scrubs
Oh my god!
on public transit are stupid. You're stupid if you do that.
Okay.
You're so dumb. Let me tell you why.
Can you? No.